to Miss Kitten Heart Creates, my podcast about making a handmade wardrobe. Or simply put, my podcast about knitting and sewing and making stuff to wear. I am Malin. I'm known as Miss Kitten Heart all over social media, on Ravelry, Instagram, my blog, everywhere. I live in Sweden with my three cats and my little poodle girl, who is there and is I have a feeling she'll be coming here soon. She wants attention and she's playing. This wardrobe project of mine is founded on 3 parts. Number 1, to eventually have an entirely handmade wardrobe with the occasional vintage and thrifted item. Number 2 is to make it with materials that are vintage, thrifted, gifted, traded, swapped. Last week I cheated a bit on that, and this week you will see another cheat, but this will be the last cheats for a few months, and I will talk more about that later. Number 3, if you've been around from the beginning, you can see. Number 3, I made a gastric bypass 3 months ago, and I have lost some weight, and I plan to lose more. I hope to lose more weight. So I am not making clothes in my current size. I am making them in smaller sizes so I can fit into them later. So that is why I from time to time show you garments that are too small for me. And that squeaking noise, it's my dog playing with this. This is my cup of tea. It is a choco chai tea with the spot of milk. And it's quite cold. Getting all this stuff and setting it up took longer than I had expected. So let's get to it, I say. What am I wearing today? It's actually one of my older makes. It is a dress now. It used to be a thrifted skirt and a thrifted shirt, and I just sewed them together in the waist and added an elastic. Very, very clever way to use thrifted items that maybe doesn't fit, or you can Frankenstein them to your heart's desire. The cardigan is thrifted. It's a Christmas cardigan, I think, and I like Christmas sweaters and Christmas jumpers and Christmas knits, so I was very happy to find it. And then a Deathly Hallows necklace. I just put some pink dye in my hair. It was crazy pink before I rinsed it off, and now you can see it's pink. It's very much more muted. And talking about things to wear, I actually have a finished object. The socks I was knitting on last time, they are finished. I call them my Tonks Technicolor socks. They are made from a pattern called Fred and George socks, and I made them for the Harry Potter cal on inside number 23 on Ravelry. I used 2 self-striping yarns, one with a pink-red pattern and one with a orange pattern, and I striped them. On this one I did the rib and the toe and the pink yarn, and the heel is a Fish Lips Kiss heel, and this is orange, and then orange toe and rib and the pink heel. So it is striped with 2 yarns, but it is not very obvious because of the nature of the yarns being self-striping. But yeah, they really make me think of Tonks and how her hair changes color with her mood. If she's happy, her hair is pink and purple. So these are happy Tonks socks. Tonks Technicolor dresses. I don't have any more finished objects. I have a half-finished object, but I don't know if I can call it that either. I call this my honeydew socks, and they are turning out pretty amazing, I think. It says honeydews. And I did a spiral heel because I thought it fit with a sort of carnival-y theme of the socks. But the first time I started them, I knit them way too small. Now I knit them a little bit small. They are too small over here, and I have blocked them, but they are still a bit too snug. This kind of explains all the socks I have seen that are made in Fair Isle, which are the heel color also goes on the top of the foot. That would make them more stretchy and flexible. So the question is, do I make another sock the same as this one, or do I scrap this one as a part of the process in designing a sock pattern and start all over? And I am actually leaning towards starting all over, because yeah, there are other issues with this one as well. For example, I botched the pattern down here, and yeah, I'm thinking this one is made from the top and down, and I'm thinking doing it the other way instead, because this is an afterthought heel, and I got lucky, and they do fit lengthwise, but not being able to try them on, it's a bit of a gamble. So I am going up another needle size and starting over with these socks. I have the rib for the second sock cast on, but I'll frog that and start from the toe. I bought yarn especially for this. This is Drops Fabel. It's pink and it's apple green, because honeydew socks have to be pink and green. So that's my off object, which is not a success so far, but I have this entire year. I don't know why I am stressing so much about finish those socks this month, because I don't need to. As long as I have 12 socks before the year is over, I am happy and delighted. I have another work in progress, and this one I am a lot happier with. If you can recall last time, my last podcast, I was on the back, I think. I don't think I had finished the back on my Weasley jumper, and look at it now. I have a back, and I have a front, and I have a big scarlet letter, a big M, and I have done the neck, and this is, let's see, this is a pattern from a Rowan sweater, and I'm trying to find the name. Options, Rowan Options, I think Options is the name. So I have just knitted in stockinette with ribbing on the bottom and on the sleeve, and the rolled edge around the neck. And I decided to try out intarsia instead of doing duplicate stitch, and I am so happy that I decided to do that, because look at how pretty it is. It looks just perfect, and it isn't blocked or anything. It's just perfect. And I've done pretty much on my first sleeve as well. So if I keep working on this and forget about that honeydew sock, I will have it finished pretty much this weekend, I think. I don't have any other plans. I'll be watching Twin Peaks and knitting, and I'm so happy with this. Really happy. And actually, while putting away my jumper, my Weasley jumper, I realized I was lying to you. I do have finished objects, but they are not knitted. They are sewn, but they are for knitted stuff. I am having more and more whips. I have been keeping them several in this big bag, but it is so much easier, one bag for each whip. So I have sewn a bunch of project bags. And this is red plaid on the inside. And I have gone through my stash of vintage fabric and vintage zippers. So the zippers have decided on the size of the bags. So I have done smaller bags and bigger bags. And to be able to fit something in those smaller bags, they are longer. I would like some with a longer opening and a short. I would like a bag kind of like this, but I need more zippers for that. So this one I made 2. This houses my black shawl. I haven't done anything on it for a month or so, and it has a brown fabric inside, and on the pull I put a progress keeper. The mermaid. I thought that was clever to have handy. And I have this very hairy bag for my honeydew socks. This is the perfect size for socks. And it's vintage fabric with apples. I made a blouse from it, if you can recall, a while back. So the perfect bag for a pair of socks and 2 balls of yarn. And today I just finished this big bag, which actually is a bit of a mess. I used an old curtain and I wanted to keep the edging, so I had to do some sewing experiments, and it's not fantastic, but it works for me. And it has got this bright fabric inside. I do like some pattern and color clashing. I also made more progress keepers and stitch markers. Two stitch markers, 1 teapot, and one. There's a heart, and there's a Buddha, and there's a peace sign. So very peaceful. And then I made this progress keeper, and it's on the heavy side, so it's for chunky knits, chunky yarns. What else? Do I do stash enhancements, or do I show you my swap package, or do I show you my latest project? We can do stash enhancements first and then go to swap package, and first drink my tea. Because, as I said, I did do a bit of cheating on the new yarn thing, because I have all these ideas for Harry Potter themed socks. I have so many Harry Potter themed knitting ideas that it's insane. I don't know how I'm going to be able to make all of them this year. Or I won't. I just keep making them. But since I have these very specific ideas, I decided to go and buy the yarn instead of trying to find them thrifting, because the fingering weight sock yarns they are very rare to find here. It's always the rag sock yarn you can find, because the fingering yarn it's not as common to knit these thin socks here in Sweden. So I got the pink and the green for the honeydew socks, and I got these four, and there are Drops Fabel and Järbo Mineraggi, and as you may guess, this will be a pair of Hufflepuff socks. I am not sure what they will look like, if I will do a simple stripe or if I will do some Fair Isle. Maybe I will do a stripe, so I don't have to make them 2-3 times. And this will be my Ford Anglia socks, the flying car socks. And I am thinking Fair Isle for these as well. But I'll see if I try to come up with something, or if I will use a finished pattern from Ravelry. Something I did thrift is something I have been wanting to do for a while. Last autumn, I tried dyeing yarn with some Kool-Aid, and I didn't love the result. But all of these fantastic hand-dyed sock yarns really make it itch to try to dye up some for myself. And while thrifting, I found these. They are fabric dyes. There's a yellow and a purple and a couple of brown and a maroon and a pink. And I thought I should be able to use these fabric dyes with yarn. And then reading the instructions, it said it doesn't work on superwash yarn, superwash fabric, superwash wool, and they had to be boiled in a kettle in a pot. So I thought I want to do multicolored yarn, self-striping, self-patterned yarn. So I thought maybe this won't work. So I did an experiment. I have seen people use the microwave for dyeing yarn, but I don't have a microwave. But I thought, why not use the oven? So I found some scrap yarn in the stash, and I made sure that some of it were superwash yarn, and I did an experiment. And look, I used the dyes I had most of, which were the brown and the yellow. And the brown, I use about the same amounts of them. The brown is very, very overpowering. But I am not unhappy. And this is actually yarn I have dyed myself. So actually it promises, how do you say in English? In Swedish we say det lovar gott. it's very promising. So I am thinking I want to make a pair of lavender brown socks, because lavender and brown socks, that's so perfect. I have to make them. And these will become lavender brown yarn. Also I'm thinking pink and maroon, possibly yellow. Each of these will make one of these dyes 300 grams of materials, so I can dye quite a lot of yarn with these. And again, these are my plans set in stone. The rest I will have to wing it. And yes, talking about dyeing yarn, Snuggly Stars is a pretty new knit podcaster, and in her first episode, I think, she was wondering, where do you buy project bags? And I was just about to whip up project bags of my own. So I decided to make one for her, and I asked if she wanted one, because then I could make one and send to her. And she said yes. And now I will insert a close-up of what I sent to her. I had to film them before I sent them away, so this is me from the past. And in return, she asked if she could send me some of her own yarn, which she hand dyes. And I said yes, of course, I would love to. And she asked me which of the Harry Potter characters I loved the most. And as you may have guessed, Tonks is a favorite. And Tonks is what she made for me. So this is a very, very, very pale pink on the outside, and it goes all the way to a dark red on the inside. It's hard to see. Knitting it will definitely be a surprise. And it's a DK weight yarn, and there are two 50-gram skeins, and I'm thinking that this will be a pair of fantastic mittens, and I will make them in February, because in February I will make love themed, pink themed stuff because of Valentine's. So I will make some pink mittens. I'm thinking something along the line of Hermione Hot Ron mittens or something like that. And I will also make a pair of socks with the theme. I'm thinking Lupin Hearts Tonks. I'm thinking grey and pink, and I don't know if you'll see what I will make. So beautiful chunks yarn, and as if that wasn't enough, she also sent me 2 skeins of sock yarn. This is also Droppsfabel, and I have actually used this yarn before, and it's a very pretty colorway. So I will see what I can make with these, if I just do something with a nice pattern, some kind of Harry Potter socks, because of course they will be Harry Potter socks, or if I will combine them with another yarn. I will see. And she also sent me some buttons, which I forgot to bring to me here. And I love buttons, as you know. I haven't shown buttons last episode or this episode, because I haven't added many buttons to my stash lately. So, but Rabble, I got some buttons too. So that was my fantastic swap package from Gemma of Snuggly Stars. So take a look at her podcasts. She's on YouTube, and she knits and crochet. She colors gorgeous yarns. She dyes gorgeous yarns. Many of them Harry Potter themed, and we all love Harry Potter this year. And if you ever want to swap, just let me know. And I think that concludes all of the show and tell for this episode. Last time my little chat was a bit of a downer because, I don't know, I had been thinking and I felt a bit low maybe. This time it's a happier chat to finish off this episode. Last weekend everyone seems to have been on Vogue Knitting Live, and if it's not Vogue Knitting Live, it's Rhinebeck, or it's Edinburgh Yarn Fest, or it's somewhere else, and it's too far for me to go because yeah, I'm in Sweden. But after looking around and searching, which mainly means asking on Facebook, I found a yarn festival in Stockholm in 4 months, in the end of May, and I am trying to gather the money to go there. So with some luck, and if I manage to sell off some of my vintage treasures, I will go to Stockholm in May to a yarn festival, and yay, that will be so much fun, I hope. I will be staying with one of my sisters. I will leave Alice with my stepmom, if it's okay with her, because I don't think Alice would want to go to a yarn festival. I don't think they would let her in. Alice, my dog, my poodle. And I hope to find some beautiful sock yarns, maybe shawl yarn, but mostly sock yarns. And hopefully I'll find some nice yarn people. If any of you happen to be there, do say hello. I will say hello if I see someone I recognize. And yeah, it will be fun. Yarn festival. So I have to save up gas money, food money, and lots of yarn money, because I won't just be buying vintage, used, thrifted yarns. I will be buying new yarns. So with that, I think it's time to end this episode. Next time I hope to be able to show you my finished whistling jumper, and we'll see if I have done anything more for my honeydew socks, or if I think I will give them a rest for a month or two and get working on something else instead. I have a bunch of sock yarns and I have tons of ideas, and I am thinking maybe cast on my You Must Be a Weasley pair of socks, which will be orange, of course, in all of the different kind of shades of orange. And there goes my dog. She's just a year old, so she is very playful. And as you can see, I am in the process of cutting her, chopping her fur. Trimming, it's called trimming her fur, because she has crazy long fur. And she's playing with one of my cats. But that is all. It's time for me to have some lunch, and then I am going out for a bit. So until next time, thank you for watching. I hope you have a nice day. Have a nice week ahead, and I will see you later. Bye!